Well, it's a conversation nobody really wants to have. Many people aren't even comfortable discussing their final arrangements, but it's really important to plan ahead and have those conversations. Dan Salter with Dignity Memorials here this morning with some tips to share with us about designing a final farewell that best pays tribute to the life of our loved one, because that's really the goal, is paying tribute to the people we care about. So why is having this final plan so important?
Well, the last thing you want to do is wait until something happens, and then you're trying to figure out through all of this emotion what it is that we need to do. If you've talked about it ahead of time, then you've had time to make some notes and decide some things that are better decided when you can, rather than waiting till the last minute at a very bad time.
Those emotions can really cloud the entire...
They can be overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely. Funeral services have evolved a lot. They continue to evolve. So what are some options that people have as far as honoring their loved one? Well,
the funeral service today has actually become a celebration of life. We're remembering the loved one for who they were, what their interests were. So it really is a celebration of life. Yes, it's solemn, it's sad, but you're remembering the life of that loved one through a celebration.
Yeah, and they can be customized so many different ways now. It doesn't feel like there's a limited number of selections anymore.
There really aren't, and what we try to do is we try to tailor something that is specific to that individual. What were their interests? What were their hobbies? What did they like doing? Did they like gardening? Did they like quilting? Did they like riding motorcycles? You know, whatever it was, we try to build that element into the service.
Let's talk about our servicemen and women. What are some services available specifically for our veterans?
Well, we provide information to the veteran specifically because there's a process that they have to go through to ensure that they qualify for the veteran's benefit. And we provide a booklet that is the 10 best questions to ask for arranging a veteran burial, and it walks them through the steps and lets them know what they have to do in preparation and what will be required of them.
Which is, again, things that you want to know ahead of time, right?
Absolutely.
That's why you have to have these conversations.
If you wait till the last minute, it's just going to be chaotic.
Yeah, absolutely. So it seems like there's a lot to consider. What would you say to people, or how do you give some advice on starting this process, planning these final farewells? Because again, nobody really wants to talk about it, but we were saying it's going to happen.
I think it's talk about the subject and the topic that you don't want to talk about. And it's not easy. It's not casual dinner conversation, but at some point in time we get to a point where we think about what's going to happen and what do I want to happen. So I think talking about it, writing it down, keeping it in a safe place so somebody knows where it's at, pre-planning it is key. You can pre-plan all of this, you can pre-fund it, and be done with it. It's taken care of, and no worries.
Yeah, and it's really a gift to your loved ones.
It really
when
is.
You can get this taken care of ahead of time, because you leave less for them to be dealing with when they're trying to process the emotions of all of it too, right?
It is the loving thing to do.
I like the idea of writing it down, because if you don't want to talk, if you're not going to talk about it, you're drawing the hard line there, write it down.
Write it down.
And they'll know what you want. Really good advice. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this information today. It's good to know, and again, have those conversations. To download Dignity Memorial's free fact sheet about VA burial benefits, visit dignitymemorial.com/veterans.